Today was the day everyone was waiting for. Mike Duffy on fire, finally discussing at length Nigel Wright's $90,000 payment, which formed the basis of 3 of the criminal charges against him, to which he's pleading, of course, not guilty. And he dragged just about every name you can imagine in the Conservative Party, whether Senate leadership or in the former Prime Minister's office through the mock. They were all involved, honestly, in the world's biggest conspiracy. It also involved reporters and people anonymously leaking things about Mike Duffy to especially the Ottawa Citizen. And he was preciously close to blowing up with righteous indignation. You know, Nigel Wright, Ben Perrin, all the people in the PMO's office, Senator Marjorie LeBreton, David Tkachuk, the Liberal Senator leader in the Senate, Jim Cowan, they were all involved in the plot against him. And of course, the Prime Minister, who Duffy says told him, Mike, I know you haven't done anything wrong, but you're going to have to pay it back because the rules don't make any sense to our base. And indeed, I'm sure the rules don't make any sense to our base. They don't make any sense to me either, and I'm not part of the base. They don't make any sense, period. The Senate rules are designed to enable profligate spending by unaccountable, unelected people. That's it, end of story. One of whom was Duffy. And at the end of the day, he says he was forced, he was intimidated, his health was precarious and at risk and suffering because of all the pressure and threats and intimidation he was under, that he finally agreed to pretend that he was repaying with his own money this $90,000 plus in expenses, when in fact it was Nigel Wright's money. Now the interesting thing is that when Mr. Duffy, in the fall of that year, 2013, was speaking in the Senate, also thundering and quivering with indignation at what's happened to him. I mean, how sharper than a serpent's tooth is that ungrateful senator. It's unbelievable how angry he is about this. But when he was in the Senate, where he is protected by parliamentary privilege, he said that he had had a meeting with the Prime Minister, Nigel Wright, and himself. Just the 3 of us, he famously said. Well, today, under oath, he said it was just the 2 of them. He also said that he didn't know until much after the fact that Nigel Wright was paying the money. But back in the Senate in the fall of 2013, he said that he knew it was Nigel Wright's money. So, you know, when Mike Duffy says these people, by which he means everyone but him, but particularly the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister's staff, and those in the Conservative Senate leadership, he says they don't know the truth. They tried to thwart his quest for justice to prove his innocence, etc. It appears that sometimes he too has trouble telling the truth, because 2 things can't be true. He told the Senate the meeting was between himself, the Prime Minister, and Nigel Wright. He told the judge today that it was between himself and the Prime Minister, and Nigel Wright was off in another corner. So your head spins, and at the end of the day, as the lawyers say, what you really want to do is go in and have a nice hot shower and scrub all the muck off.